Hello, everybody. Today I would like to have an interview with a vampire. Yes, an interview with a different vampire. And this vampire is a character, the main character in one of my books. So what better way is there to meet someone, to meet a famous character, or yet to be famous character, through an interview? These are more the vampires of Bram Stoker than the cheesy vampires of this century, claims one Amazon reviewer. The book Aurélie Survival has earned several 5-star reviews, so it's time to ask the bloodsucker in question some questions, right? Aurélie was alive during the times of the French Revolution and was turned by the vampire Lucan of ancient Rome. Her story takes us through events of the revolution and post-revolutionary times, introducing us to other immortals and some interesting human allies. For a full synopsis of the book, please check Aurélie Survival, the link below this video. Without giving away any spoilers and hoping not to lose any blood in the process, let's see what Aurélie has to say about the French Revolution, vampires, humans, and matters of the world. So, there's a fly here. Well, filming in the summer in the Baja, it's a pain in the royal behind, because there's a lot of flies here, so please forgive me those little unprofessional interruptions. There's nothing I can do about it, but that's just the way it is. So, my first question to Aurélie. Dear Aurélie, thank you for joining us today. Could you tell us how long you have been a vampire?
I was turned in 1794, so I've been a vampire for, let's see, 227 years, I believe.
Okay, and the one who turned you came from ancient Rome. How long had he been alive at the time, and why was he in Paris?
Lucan must be nearly 2,000 years old. He came to Paris because he was hunting a dangerous vampire who had wronged him in the past. That was when our paths crossed.
Tell us about your first meeting with him.
It was during the September massacres. I was horrified at the bloodshed, and I ran to get away from it all. I slipped and fell. Lucan helped me up, and that was how it began.
Did you know that he was not human?
Yeah, he was charming, and his eyes mesmerized me. I did notice that he was a little pale, but it never occurred to me that he couldn't be anything but human. Who would even think of vampires? One of the many advantages our kind has is that you humans do not believe in us. It allows us much freedom.
Can you give me an example of such freedom?
Yes, of course. We can walk among you. I like to apply a little rouge on my face and arms to make them appear more human. Like this, I can attend public events such as a theater, a night at the museum, art evenings, or small local concerts. I don't like large concert halls, though I try to avoid big crowds.
Do crowds present danger to you?
Not really, but it's a habit of mine. It comes from my mortal days in the French Revolution. There I sometimes witnessed the atrocities angry mobs were capable of, and ever since then I have avoided them like the plague.
Which is your worst memory of the French Revolution?
The senseless killings, the many executions of people of the lower classes, for which, ironically, this revolution had been initiated, and the flimsy charges that could get someone a death sentence.
It sounds a bit surprising that you would say that.
Because I'm a vampire? I guess I can understand why you would think so. But during the revolution I was mortal, and I witnessed much unwarranted violence. It isn't easy to forget, even as an immortal. Even if I slay others to survive, I saw how Princess Lamballe was murdered on the street, literally cut to pieces. I was there, at the storming of the Bastille, and I saw what they did to the guards. Those are things you can't just erase from your mind.
Did the revolution change you?
It did. The woman who participated at the beginning of the revolution was not the same who ended up running from it.
How long had you known Lucan when he turned
I
you?
didn't really know him that well. I had only met him once before. He came to the rescue when my life was in danger. If he hadn't done that, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Okay. And what went through your mind when he was about to turn you?
So much in just a few seconds. It's hard to explain. I was in the throes of death, and Lucan gave me a choice. Live or die. I chose to live, and I became immortal, not knowing what I let myself into. It was hard to comprehend what was happening, but in those lurid moments before death, we often find ourselves much more accepting of the supernatural.
Okay, interesting. I know that Lucan and you have a strong bond, but there was another player in the story, wasn't there?
Yes, Seraphim. He was mortal when I met him. I was already a vampire.
Did things ever get resolved with
I
him?
can't tell you that. You said that you didn't want to give any spoilers.
I did, didn't I? I guess I couldn't help myself a little. I really wanted to know.
Seraphim is quite a character. He hasn't changed much in these past centuries.
Are you still in touch with him?
Sporadically.
Where is he now?
I believe that he's in Haiti.
Really?
Yes, there's a whole story behind that. He is writing and editing his manuscript as we speak. I'm not sure when he'll publish, though. Seraphim can be conflicted at times, and he might shock some readers with parts of his tale.
Okay. I would love to read it.
So would I. Although we spent quite some time together, there's a lot I don't know about him.
Thoughts on our world today? Do you find humankind much improved?
I need to think about that. Although there is plenty of evidence of improvement, I must say that I do not see it everywhere. Justice, I'm sorry, my voice just flipped a little bit. Justice still isn't served, and it often seems as ineffective and corrupt as it was in my times.
Surely it must have gotten better. I mean, you mentioned that people were guillotined on the flimsiest charges during the French Revolution.
Yes, that is true. I suppose that some things are much better now, but I still see many injustices, such as excessive punishments, hurting others just because someone can, abuse of power, angry and destructive mobs, and I could go on.
We still have a lot to work on.
Yes, but there's hope. I do see hope.
That's good to know. Well, I won't keep you. What if she wants to drink blood? I mean, what if she's hungry, right? Thank you very much for this interview, Aurélie.
It was my pleasure, and don't worry, I fed before meeting you.
I thought that you usually refrain from reading others' thoughts.
Always though.
Okay, so yeah, this was my interview with Aurélie. I hope you liked it. And if you'd like to know more, well, this is the book. It's available on Amazon, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble, Goodreads, and all the major online book retailers. And if you like the book, make an author's day, leave a review. Reviews really help the author, help the book. And we're always very grateful for any book review. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.